Hi, my name is Michael Wang, and I'm here with the Guitar Hero or the Piano Hero group. The members group are myself, Jesse Lute, Natalia Balatskaya, and Stefan Palmes. So the basic idea behind our project was to take the Guitar Hero series and do the same thing with piano. So if you look at this video right here, we've got a drop-down display where instructions are being fed behind each note to sort of tell you which notes are being played when. Now the first part of this project was to build a display that would have these sort of drop-down instructions that would go behind each key and allow you to play. The hardware actually is on order, should arrive tomorrow, and we'll assemble it and have it for display then. Okay, so we've got a drop-down software version where if we play the instructions right here, you can see that again we've got instructions being dropped down the screen. Yeah. We've got instructions being dropped down the screen behind each note to sort of tell you which notes to play when. Now again, this sort of display was only the first part of our project. The second part of our project was actually more software. The idea was to actually take the idea was to take a MIDI format music file, which is sort of like an MP3 file. They're actually MIDI to MP3 converters. And the idea was to take this raw MIDI file, which looks like this in its text form, which is somewhat indecipherable, and convert it first into hex commands, which are the commands for which notes are being played when. Now the bigger jump in software was actually go from these commands to states of the keyboard. This piece of software would take the MIDI file and output a text file where each line of the code each line of the text file represents a state of the keyboard. 0 obviously representing notes not being played, 1's representing notes being played. Now if you look into the MIDI file, there's actually a lot of different commands broken down into what's going on. So for example, the top is the header. There are different commands like FF, which signal a meta command like text for the titles of the song, lyrics that are built into the song. But also there are commands that start with 90, which actually represent change states in the keyboard. And the software that I wrote goes through and takes this sort of raw command data and converts it into states of the keyboard to be passed to the display. At the moment, the software only handles MIDI format files, but in future changes to this project, we're hoping to actually include more music file formats, extending the wide applicability of this project. Idea being for recreational use to be able to go through, listen to a song, say, hey, I like that song, I'd like to be able to play it, and then feed instructions to this display and be able to play it on the keyboard.
So originally we're actually going to have a printed circuit board, which actually has LEDs lined up as columns, each one above each note we're going to play. And this actually is being manufactured right now, but we're just not going to get it in time because it would cost too much to actually order it to come in quickly. So the idea would be this is actually thin compared to the computer screen here, and there would be no big space between the keyboard and the board itself. So it would actually be sitting like right in this little space here between the piano and the back part of it. And the notes would actually it would come down to here, and it would flow downwards, being passed through diff flip-flops. And basically, the input would be fed at the top and trickle down at the correct clock speed, which would basically correspond to the beat of the song.